So for this patch, we had a couple main sound sources that I was using. The first is the Northwest Synthesizers Hummingbird Triple Oscillator Bank. This is a new module from a local Seattle manufacturer, and besides sounding fantastic, it's got some cool features that I really like. One of the things that I really like about this module is each of the 3 voices plus the sub can be adjusted. There's octave switches for each of these, so that one of the things you can do if you've got all the voices playing at the same time is just play around with these octave knobs and really kind of bring out some of the individual voices one at a time. The other thing I love about this module is the ability to morph between different waveforms independently for each of the 3 main oscillators. You can really generate some nice complex sounds that way. You can also use an LFO. In this case, I'm using a quad pingable LFO from 4MS to smoothly modulate between the different waveforms, and I had that going through the patch. The Hummingbird is being driven by the Argos Bleak Industrial Music Electronics, which is a quad oscillator controller module with independent slew and vibrato for each channel. This module has a series of kind of presets, I guess, that you can use CV to swap between to produce different chords. Can do a lot more than that, but in this patch in particular, I was using the Stilson Hammer, also by Industrial Music Electronics, to send a sequence of CV to the Argos Bleak, which was selecting different chords, which then was driving the Hummingbird. The drums, percussion all came from the Rossum Assimilator sampler, which is kind of the main, I guess, the heart of my system right now. This sampler is very powerful, a lot of modulation opportunities. Each channel can be controlled by any one of these different patch points here. And so just keeping it simple, for this particular example, I had a number of different drum sounds set to 1 sound per channel here, being sequenced by a combination of the Ornament and Crime in peaked mode, doing some Euclidean sequencing, as well as the SQ1 over here doing the kick and one other sound. I like to use these 2 together as a combination. The Euclidean sequencing gets a little bit random, but is really interesting, but it's nice to be able to have a little bit of a consistent backbone of the sequence so that your ear has something to follow. One of the challenges I've had with the Assimilator was accumulating enough modulation sources to really take advantage of all of those opportunities. So right now I find I'm using a lot of the quad pingable LFO gives me 4 LFO stages, is also really great because I can have either AR envelopes, LFOs, or in this case with the new firmware that just came out recently, I've got a little sequence going here that I can then use to modulate things like the pitch of the sample or the bit rate or aliasing, all these really cool things that you can do with CB control on a sampler like this. I'm using the Woggle Bug as well. I like having the Woggle Bug to generate some random CV to also control different parameters of the samples that I'm using on the Assimilator. So I do that quite a bit. For effects, I was using the IntelliGel Rainmaker, which is a 16-tap spectral comb resonator and a spectral delay that is pretty powerful module. But in this case, I was just doing kind of a nice simple delay with it. And I also am using the Maris Mercury 7 reverb here, just as kind of a effect send off the mixer, just to give a little extra reverb, and there's a nice color to that sound that I really like. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, for VCAs and envelopes, I'm just sticking to straight up Doepfer modules in this patch, and just a little bit of filtering going on with the Pico VCF, and I believe that's about it. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the patch, and thanks for watching.